And we're back for the final part of this week's session of A Song of Tara. And we are about to hear what Taliesin is going to do.
Okay, yes. Basically, recognizing that we want to get her out of here, knowing that she's not going to go by actually listening to us be reasonable, and with the assumption that Connell's gone to get the car, Taliesin, for the second time in as many sessions, is going to do something incredibly stupid, but hope it works.
Right?
He reaches under his jacket.
Yeah.
Pulls out the Remington.
Yep.
And very firmly tells her to shut up.
She does.
Well, I approve because I had thought kind of like that.
She were groans, but that's about it.
Mm-hmm. Begging your pardon, miss, but we do not have all night now. Apologise for breaking in, but you're going to have to come with us. No argument about it. You understand me?
She is weeping, but nodding.
Just do as we say and nothing will happen to you, I promise. Now get up.
She gets up.
Run up the front, come on.
And she follows. Well, walks in front of you, obviously.
Yeah. Obviously, when we get to the door...
She is pleading with you under her breath every step of the way to please not kill her. She is...
Bella growls at her.
She is...
Every time she pleads.
She is scared for her life.
Mm-hmm. Taliesin does not respond. He does not reassure her, but he doesn't taunt her either.
No.
As we start to get to the door, Taliesin tucks the gun back under his jacket, but keeps his hand on it.
Yeah.
And looks like he's got his arms folded.
Yep.
And then when we get outside, is the car there?
Well, we said that we would meet him halfway, but I guess we'll have to wait for him to actually get here.
Yeah.
Connell drives as fast as he possibly can.
But he did run, so...
Yeah, but he's going to drive back.
Yeah, no, I mean, that means he would get to the car faster than if he had just walked.
Yep.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. When he gets there, assuming he gets there without any trouble.
Well, he does. He does.
Is there a period of time in which we're waiting?
Yes, there is.
In that case, he whispers to Taliesin if she can try to explain the situation to Joselyn.
He nods.
And she goes to Joselyn and says in a attempts a soothing voice, "Hey, Joselyn, please listen to me because this looks way worse than it is. You were attacked by vampires, and we killed them. You were bound in iron, and we're going to take you to someone who can check if you're okay."
She looks at you. At first, you could swear that she thinks you're insane.
Mm.
And then it's pretty clear. You don't even need to roll to see this. She just nods and tries to smile. It's completely faked. She has no idea what you're talking about. She is horrified by everything that's going on. And as far as she's concerned, she thinks that she's about to die. It's obvious.
Jenna is just super confused, like, is it even possible to forget that you're kidding?
Yeah, this is also an area in which Shiva wishes she knew more.
Which is why Taryn is trying to get a hand of one of the Kithane.
Yeah, that's actually a really good idea.
Yep.
Well, Shiva can clearly see that she's not believing her, and she just finished, "Don't worry, we're not going to kill you."
You, at this point, Connell arrives with the car.
Taliesin.
Now, you have a slight problem, of course, in that, again, Joselyn is not a small woman. And you're already kind of squeezed into that car when you are all
Fenna
there.
takes the trunk.
Okay.
Well, Taryn was also in the trunk before, so they had room. So now there's only 2 in the trunk. So 2 on the back seat too.
Okay.
Well, think about it. Someone else can go in the front with Connell, and I'll sit in the back with Joselyn.
Shiva goes in the front then.
Where to, boss?
Taryn and Finna in the trunk. Taryn's still trying to get a hold of the
She
Kithane.
is. She's praying quietly, but she's
yes.
praying.
Sure. As a
Bleeding
pray.
horse. Bleeding horse, Connell, quick.
Pedal, pedal
Just
to the
as
metal
you,
then.
just as you, you pull away, and as you do that, you can see that the 2 patrol cars further down the road are approaching.
Oh! Faster!
Yep.
Like I said,
and
pedal to the metal. I can't go any faster.
No. So you're heading in the opposite direction of this. I'm.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep.
So you get away.
Okay.
How's that phone call coming along, Taryn?
It's not.
No!
It's not. She's not answering.
He's not answering. I can try the bleeding horse.
Yeah.
This might be a lot bigger than we thought it was.
Try getting a hold of Miela or something.
Yeah, I'll try the bleeding horse. She tries the bleeding horse instead.
Well, you get through to the Bleeding Horse. It's a nice club. It's a nightclub. So
Mm. Hey, do we have Miela there?
who?
Little girl with grey hair. Bubbly personality.
We don't let kids in here.
She isn't a kid, she just looks like one.
Okay. I have no idea what you're talking about. Are you sure you got the right number?
This is the bleeding horse, right?
Right. This is a prank call, isn't it? Okay. That's it. Bye. He hangs up.
Taryn just looks at her phone, like... Why are people so simple-minded?
Dense.
They're so dense. Just because you're a full-grown woman, you can still look like a child. I mean, Miela looks like a child, right?
Yeah. Well, in some ways, she comes across as much as a young girl, definitely.
And she is actually talking to Fenna, who's in the trunk too.
Well, Fenna's in well, Lucas.
Yeah, but she still understands what she's saying.
Yeah.
She isn't talking to a door, I hope.
Yeah, and it's just it's kind of limited what Fenna can answer her. I believe the Garou language is quite limited. Or am I wrong?
No, you can.
The Garou language is postures and
Yeah.
yipping.
Mm. But can she say communicate something like you should have called her youthful?
No, that's.
Exactly, it's limited.
Yeah.
She racks her mind for other things she can call. Did we ever get what's her face's number? Remember we got a
What's her
number
face?
from Kithane? Not Kiva, but another one.
Well, you got the number from Mr. Huddy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Fenna has
him.
that.
You did.
And he did seem to know Joselyn.
Aura's number. Fenna, Aura's number. Gimme. He knows her.
Well, I
Yeah,
guess
you
that-
met her. You met him in her place the first time.
He was the only one that wasn't intimidated by
Yeah.
Aaron, and that is why Aaron hated him.
Yes.
Well, I guess that means Fenna will have to change shape.
Sure,
So-
we'll squeeze into the
Yeah.
trunk. We can do this.
Yeah.
And then she calls Aura.
Yep. You get through to him. He picks it up.
Aura,
Hello.
thank God. I didn't know why I said that. This is Tarrant, and we have a terrified Justin.
Oh right, I remember you. Right. You
Terrified
have,
Justin.
Good, someone remembers.
and you have what a terrified Joselyn. What happened?
She doesn't seem to remember any of us, or that she's Kithane. When we
What?
found her, she was taken by 2 vampires, and
What?
she was bound in
Wait,
iron.
wait.
What the hell do we do?
Bound in. Oh shit. How long?
Where do we take her?
How long had she been bound in iron?
I don't know. While? When did they tear down her boutique?
Taryn, put it on speaker.
She puts him on speaker.
What's going on here? How long has she been... I need to know, this is important. You said she doesn't remember that she's Cathane.
She fainted
Right.
for a few seconds before we got the got the bracelets off.
Bracelets. So... Okay, exactly what did you find?
Her storefront has been completely ravaged about, half an hour ago?
Oh, God.
And when we went to her house, it was open, but there was no blood. And in her backyard, she was sitting with 2 vampires.
So for all you know, she could have been in the company of these vampires for several minutes, and she could have had iron on her person for all that time.
Exactly. She looked very sickly when we got there. She started screaming, and when she woke up again without the iron bracelets, she was completely out of it. Screaming and yelling, not remembering any of us, or you, or Cathane, or nothing.
Vampires.
Well, that makes... Of course she doesn't.
What?
She's human.
What?
What?
They killed her.
What?
Jesus.
Fuck.
This is what they
No.
do. This is what happens when when we call this thing banality, when it overtakes you, when it becomes too much, when there is no love and joy and music and fun left in the world, when they take the imagination out of us. This is what happens. That's how we die.
But she's alive, breathing,
No,
scared.
no, she's a holster. She's human now. That which makes us Cathane is immortal, except if this happens and they killed it.
No.
We get born over and over again into new bodies unless they do this, and they killed it. Iron
Lowers-
does that to us.
Karen lowers her phone slightly and just looks horrified at Joselyn. What do we
Well,
do?
you're in the trunk.
Well, this is when we ask Heine. This is Connell's dream car. Finna got that out of him. So does
It's
his
not a
dream-
station wagon, I think.
Yeah, so it's like the kind with a very tiny trunk
Yeah.
Yep.
that is separate from the rest of the car, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so the rest of us probably couldn't hear much of all of this.
But
No.
there's usually that little thing you can open in the middle of the backseat.
Nope.
There isn't?
Nope.
This is a classic car. You can't do stuff like that in the older ones.
Yep.
Karen just goes very silent then. Then what do we do with her?
Well, you can't bring her to the horse.
Oh, fuck. What
Yeah.
what do we do? We can't bring her back home. There's still
But
one more
already
vamp.
killed her. What do they need her for now?
That's true. Maybe the last leech
How
will
much
just
does she
leave
know?
her be.
How much does she know?
She thinks we're going to murder her, that's about it.
Well, we did say something about taking her back to people
Someone-
who can help her, and something about
Alright,
vampires
alright,
being
alright.
after her. But
Listen.
She
to me
doesn't believe
very-
it. She thinks we're
please
crazy.
listen to me very, very carefully right now, okay? Because if you want to save what's left of her for old time's sakes, there's nothing left of the woman you knew. It's gone. But if you want to save the human that she is now, you're gonna have to do exactly what I tell you.
okay,
All
Right.
You are going to pull over this car somewhere safe, somewhere where there aren't any other people around. I don't know. I don't care where you take her. Take her somewhere private and safe and out of the way. And when you do that, you take her out. You make sure she's safe and unharmed. No weapons. Don't make her any more afraid than she already is. And then you show her your true selves. You go big and hairy on her, because when you do that in front of a human being, they get terrified and they forget.
That's why she fainted when she saw us.
I want her to, if you want to save her, and I really do not want to kill this woman, because while she's not Joselyn, at least not the Joselyn any of us knew, she doesn't deserve to die. So, if you all do this, or at least some of you do this, we can hope that when she wakes up, she will think it has all been a terrible nightmare, and she will not think that you had anything to do with it, and she will just think any mention of anything that happened is just a bad dream.
Alright.
Barring
But
that, she's a
you-
risk
yeah,
to
this-
everyone, and I know what you people do to people who are risks. Don't you understand? If this is what happened, if this is what the vampires did, they probably wanted you to find her. Because then you might have had to kill her. Just think of what would happen if we found out that you had killed Joselyn, of all people.
Can I give you the message?
Yeah.
Use your
I'm,
phone.
I was actually
I'm
about
going
to.
directly to the horse now, and I'm going to talk to them, and I'm going to hope they can... Just make sure she's safe, and when she's done that, I really suggest that without her, you get to the horse and explain what's happened, because... Okay? Just... Alright.
Yeah.
Finna bangs on the part of the trunk that meets the rest of the car, facing the back
Use
seat.
your
And
phone, you bollocks.
oh, so she just copied the number. I thought she was using
Yeah.
Finna's phone.
Anyway,
just-
he hangs up on his end.
Okay, well, she shouldn't call Connell, so she calls Tally.
Yeah.
Get Connell to find a place without people and pull over. This is important. We cannot take her to the horse.
Right. Connell, change of plan.
Hmm?
We need to go somewhere quiet, no people. Now.
The radio, boss man. Connell finds somewhere quiet.
Yeah,
maybe.
you find a sports field by a school.
Sure.
Nobody there at this time of night.
Tally looks to Joselyn. Out.
Let us out, goddammit. Dum dum dum.
She steps out. She doesn't try to run. She's still horrified.
Yeah, Taliesin gets out. He leaves the shotgun behind him.
Yeah.
Goes around and bangs on and opens the boot lid.
And I think he sees two very almost frightened and sad-looking girls in there. I mean, at least horrified. Horrified.
Yeah,
Maybe not frightened, but horrified.
Taryn just sits up. We got a hold of our Aura. The reason she's acting like this is because they killed the Cathane in her.
She's human.
What?
Kakai.
What they do, according to Aura, is the iron and the banality that they are draws everything out that's Cathane and leaves them human. They killed the immortal Cathane in her.
Alright, okay.
And if we do anything, then she might die, so we have to scare her. And because she's human, Krina should do that.
Right, alright.
So we get her into delirium, and she should forget everything.
Yeah, Taliesin, as
I
soon
think
as
it's
they
just a dream.
as soon as they sail back, Taliesin takes off his cap and walks over to Joselyn.
Yeah.
Right. What it's worth, I'm really, really sorry. And I'm going to expend a rage point and change.
Maybe get her out of the car first?
Oh, she
She's
did.
out of
Yes.
the car.
She
was out.
Oh, she stepped
She
out.
stepped out
Okay.
of the car.
Okay.
Actually, do I need to spend? Is it one rage point per level of change, or
No,
is
it's
it
just one rage point to the form you want to go to.
Yeah, well, he is
Speaking
angry.
of rage, can I regain a rage point because I'm really angry about
Oh
this?
yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Everyone
Yeah,
can.
we'll all
Once they
get
learn
rage
this,
points.
you can all get a rage point back for that. Because
Taryn
this
is
is
so angry she didn't shake them around like a chihuahua.
this is fucking underhanded even for vampires. So yes, you can definitely get a point back.
Yeah.
And
She's weeping silently in the boot
Yeah.
now.
So is Finna. It is extremely surreal to have to say farewell to someone who died, who is still alive.
Yeah.
But it made sense. She did faint the second she saw us in Krina's first time too.
Yeah. It does.
Well, I've changed, so I'm standing there full 8 foot 9 foot
Yeah.
furry tank, and
Yeah.
then as the delirium hits her, I'd like him to just look at her. I can't really tell on a wolf feature, but just very sadly just says, "Now wake up."
She looks up at you in a moment of stunned, mouth agape silence, and then she blanks. You can just see everything goes blank with primal fear, and she collapses on the ground.
Taliesin reaches down to pick her up and prop her up somewhere safe so that she's not sprawled.
Yeah.
Well, it is on a school's thing, so hopefully the janitor will find her, or they will see her in the morning, if she haven't woken up by then.
Yep.
I think while all this is happening, Connell, assuming the girls allow him to, embrace them all. In a
Aww.
Aww.
He's our big teddy.
Yeah, at that point Shiva goes from quietly weeping to right out sobbing.
Yep. It's just like, oh no, not her. Vrel!
Definitely. Well,
Fenna stays quiet.
yeah.
Oh, she's the prideful one.
Yeah. Well, the woman that is now Joselyn slumps to the ground and is propped up against a goal post of a football goal, and
yes, I think
she's clearly unconscious, but other than that, yeah.
Boss man, why don't I drive her home and put her into her own bed?
No. She has to wake up here. You know, her place was completely ruined, so maybe she'll think that she ran in out of terror and all the supernatural stuff was just a dream and she woke up here.
Too risky going back there anyway.
And we should probably go to the Bleeding Horse to tell them Aura has already gone there to try to explain it.
We need
Do we need to be there to back him up? Can't we just go after the fucking leeches?
Yes, please.
Well, we kinda need to explain this. Otherwise, we could get
Why?
the pain
We
on
told
her.
Aura.
What did Aura say?
He would try to explain what happened, but we should probably get there to explain everything.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, this is important. We don't want to lose our allies in the Fae.
And he thinks that maybe they took her, because if we found out what happened and we'd have to kill her, then what would we do with the Kithane, you know?
I understand your rage, Fenna, Connell. But if we go straight after them now, then the Fae will turn on us, and as cruel and as petty as the vampires are, and we've seen how far down they'll go. We will not make an enemy of the Fae.
Well, it seems to me, boss man, the part of an alliance is trust. Why not trust that this Fae you've reported to is able to tell it like you told him and speak on our behalf, and let us fucking murder some vampires?
We wouldn't even know where to find them anyways.
No, but
At
we
least
can
we know
talk
where the
to...
Bleeding Horse is.
The night is still young, and we will find them after we're done there. But the Fae are always fickle. We cannot take that risk.
Let's make it quick.
We will. Let's
The longer
go.
we dawdle, the more people are going to die.
We should also leave her in case she wakes up.
So
Yeah.
you move towards the Bleeding Horse.
Mhm.
All right.
Yeah. I think Tally will try to change back and get in the car. He won't just walk there for Greenos.
No,
He will have a very, very angry Connell if he tries to squeeze himself into his car in Greenos.
Oh, I think that might just be the straw that breaks the camel's back in that case. No, you get back in Homid or whatever form, and that you travel into Homid or Lupus, I guess, and then into or up to the Bleeding Horse, and in which case you'd probably be better served in Homid because they probably won't let wolves in there.
Yeah.
But when you get there, you are actually when you get there, you actually see Aura is standing outside on the sidewalk, and of course the place is it's not packed. It's not packed, but there are people in there. It's not a so it's but he's outside. He's pacing back and forth on the what's it called, on the sidewalk.
Taryn just gets out of the car trying to wipe her tears, but they won't stop.
he is clearly distressed, deeply distressed, and when he sees you, he heads directly over to you all. He's gritting his teeth. He is he looks like he's on the verge of tears, and he's fighting them, and
it seems like he's doing a better job than the females of our group.
Finna is trying to be stoic, but the tear trails are visible.
Yeah,
she has been crying.
Taryn has stopped sobbing, but the tears won't stop, and no matter how much she tries to wipe them away, they're being bitches and keep coming.
Yeah.
He says, I've spoken to Miela. Miela is talking to Vanryn right now. I don't know how much use I'm going to be because I'm vulnerable to those assholes as well, but I want to help.
How tall is this guy?
He's not that tall. He's about 175. 5'9".
He gets a hug.
We can speak.
We can always use knowledge. Or eyes or ears.
Eyes and ears, certainly. I'm not this. I don't know. I'm not going to try to make myself sound smarter than I am, but I'll help with any way I can.
Hey.
Nobody.
You must have contacts. It's you.
I do. She was the first Kithane in this city who didn't look down on me. I want to get even for this.
Taliesin goes over to him and puts a hand on his shoulder. We'll do what we can to help that happen. No one deserves that.
You find them and you rip them to fucking pieces.
I've made my vows about what I'm going to do to them, don't worry.
Good.
They have made this personal twice.
He takes out like a small pocket knife, and he quickly draws the blade across the palm of his hand, and he clenches it, and there's blood flowing out between his fingers. And he looks at all of you and he says, then I don't care what the rest of them in there say, but I am your ally, and I swear it on my blood. If you will kill the ones who did this to her, I am on your side, come hell or high water.
Understanding the significance, would it be appropriate?
The blood never hits the ground. It evaporates before it hits the ground.
Wow.
He's Fae.
He's Fae.
We took 2 of the goons, but we will also cut off the head and everything else until there's nothing but a bloody mess left.
I wonder if any of these creatures have any heart left in them at all, and if they do, I want it crushed underfoot. All right. Anyway, you better go inside. I'll bring up the rear.
Shiva heads inside.
Yeah.
Sharon follows.
Just as you enter.
Before
Sure.
the others enter, Connell approaches Tally.
Mm-hmm.
Boss, I think it might be better if I stay out here. I feel that we can talk about this later, but I'm gonna stay in the car, and you can text me or whatever if you need me.
I'm sorry that I'm keeping you from what you need to do, Connell. We will be out there.
We will talk about this later. This is important to you guys, so go in there and do your stuff.
Alright. Thank you.
And I'll rip something to threads when this is done.
I'll text Kat and see if she can find something for you to do by yourself if you need to.
We're a pack.
Fine. We'll be quick. And then we'll be together as we face these fuckers down and tear their throats out.
So something else distracts us. Go inside. I'll be out here.
Mm-hmm. Tally goes in.
Fenna, before going in, she just she goes over and gives Aura a hug, and while she's there, says, "We will avenge her as fast as possible."
He just goes to pieces.
Well, then it makes it a little hard to
Absolutely balls on her shoulder.
He exploded.
Well, I think Fenna then... Oh, she starts crying again. And
Yeah.
just works a little bit before following the others.
Yeah. Well, you get in, and once you get inside, you are you're met by Miela, who is ashen-faced as she leads you upstairs to the room where you normally go to get in. And she closes the door as she leads you in, and then closes the door, and then you realize that Mirren is already there. She's not in her famine. She's just an exceptionally beautiful woman, for all appearances anyway. But she is not actually in her court. She is she's
in the waiting room.
Yeah, she's in the waiting room.
Well, Shiva kneels regardless. That seems to be the appropriate thing to do.
Mm-hmm. Taliesin follows suit.
Yeah.
She is.
Aaron does the same, a little surprised. She was waiting for the thing, and then, oh, she's there.
Fenna too.
She just looks at you all, and with a somewhat cold tone of voice says, "This war of yours seems to be claiming victims outside your ranks." I have no love for the dead things. None of us here do. They are creatures of inherent banality. They are evil. And they are deadly to us, as I am now aware that you have learned to our loss. However, Joselyn's death is more than simply a woman losing her memories. It is the discontinuation of thousands of years of knowledge. Each Kithane soul is born and reborn over and over and over again. We were many once, long ago. We are so very, very few now. And for someone like Joselyn to die is an irreplaceable loss. Can you tell me why this war that you are now fighting should cost me any more loss, any more death than it already has?
Will Shiva want to speak first, or can
I think she will want to, but she doesn't know what to say.
She looks at Shiva.
Mm-hmm.
In that case, Shiva does a sort of clears her throat to get some time to think, and then she says, "You, of course, Your Majesty, of course, has our condolences and apologies. It would seem the leeches went for people we care about.
What's happening? There's a lot of
Whether they be innocent or not."
Indeed, but is that not normally what happens? There's a lot of noise in the background. Who is
Sorry,
whiffing?
that's probably me and my pants again. I will just move so that
silence
I
your
don't have my
pants.
laptop in my lap.
Take off your pants.
Can we not
Oh,
ruin
you
mood,
wish.
guys, please. The is there any sorry, I lost my train of thought there again. She does listen to what Shiva has to say, and then she still has this rather cold tone of voice and going, and her facial expression is not a kind one. She says that while your condolences and your well wishes and your apologies are no doubt absolutely sincere, and they are appreciated as such, they do not in fact change the circumstances or the situation. For all I know, every one of the Kithane now in Dublin is in danger simply because we have chosen to associate ourselves with the werewolves. And may I add, this war was declared without our knowledge. We were not consulted on this. And while I realize that there is new leadership at the set in St. Stephen's Green, it would have been, let's just say, it would have behooved Kat Markison to at least inform her oldest allies in the city before she launched herself into a war with an enemy which is far deadlier than practically anything else we can face. That did not happen. I am most displeased by that fact.
I'll just throw in here that Finna has been kind of trembling with anger ever since she started talking because of, well, she just sounds oh so very berating, and we are already mad as hell. And she's just staring at one spot on the floor, trying to just focus on that and not look up and become even more angry and say something she shouldn't.
Yeah.
She's focusing on all her might.
Yes.
There is a spot on the floor. I will keep that spot under surveillance.
But she is probably very visibly furious.
Yes. But please, do tell me.
While we cannot change what has happened, we will do our utmost to enact revenge, and I will personally let our Sept Alpha know that Your Majesty is displeased with her sudden declaration of war.
Thank you. Then I shall leave it at that.
Karen is actually surprised that Kat didn't tell her.
Then that is all I will say about it. If you will excuse me, I have an entire court to reassure. She nods in Miela's direction, and Miela sort of looks uncomfortable and basically starts gesturing towards the door.
Is that meant for us to leave, I assume?
Yes.
Finna is staring very intently at the spot and doesn't see the gesture that's at the door.
Taryn sees it and then tries to, get the angry Finna out of the door. Like,
she follows suit.
It's just, this way. you can kill something outside this way.
Well, Miela gets you outside, and then she's trembling from head to foot, and she looks frightened more than anything else. And she says, please don't be angry with us. Please don't be angry with us. Joselyn was precious to all of us. Please don't hold this against us.
Taryn just takes the grey fluff of babbling and hugs it.
Shiva looks incredibly tired, and she says, well, you can let Her Majesty know that I'll probably ask Kat if we can help with defending your kind, should Her Majesty want us to.
Thank you. I'll let her know. I'll let her know. She looks uncertain and tries to smile and then hurries back inside.
Well, we would be angry too if they started a war and we got caught in it.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Well, it's taken all of 5 minutes, basically. And then you're back outside.
Yep. We go directly to Connell.
Yep. Very determinedly.
And then
furious.
Taryn looks at Shiva. Should I call her and tell her?
Who? Kat?
Kat.
Let me speak to her.
Alright. Taryn dials her up and hands Shiva the phone while walking.
Well,
she might as well know right away, in case there are more casualties. That was an oops.
Yep. Well, you get Kat on the line, and she sounds like she's in an absolutely splendid mood when she picks it up and says, "Hi, Taryn."
Hi, it's Shiva.
Oh, on Taryn's phone. Is everything okay?
No. I'll give you the brief version.
Yeah, please do.
The vampires have killed Joselyn, one of the Fae, for real. And they did it in an attempt to frame us, but we managed not to be framed. The Fae are pissed because, as she put it, we started a war without consulting our oldest allies. And now she has to reassure her court, and I promised one of them that I would at the very least let you know, or ask you if they should want it, we could perhaps help defend them, because they seem to be quite out of their league when it comes to leeches.
Also remind her that I don't know if Kat already knows. She probably does, but their banality kills them pretty quickly.
Mm.
Well, she says, you go and continue what you guys are doing.
Can I talk to her?
We have I assume you saw the message from Francesca that there's that the funeral or the funeral for Aaron is tomorrow night, right?
Yeah.
Good. I will see you tomorrow night at St. Stephen's Green. Until then,
may I?
Until then, make sure you kill as many of the fuckers as you possibly can. I'm heading to the Bleeding Horse right now.
Yeah, Finna wants a word.
All right.
Before you go.
Put her on.
You go, Finna.
Hi,
Kat?
Finna. Yeah. Hi.
How the fuck are the vampires even acting this early? They were asleep when you declared war on them. The night has barely started. How are they in the know this fast?
I think, quite frankly, I think everyone in the city knew this was coming. We've been balancing on a knife's edge for a long time, and let's be honest to one another here, Fenna. The vampires have been fighting a war against us for a while. We just haven't been fighting back.
I guess what I'm getting at here is this, what happened just now, that's not just because we declared war on them.
No.
It was coming.
Yes, it was. And you realize there are two groups of vampires in the city, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't care which
Some we hate and some we really hate.
Yeah, exactly. I want to see them all dead. Like, permanently dead. But one of these groups seems hell-bent on starting a general war where everybody is killing everybody. And I think they've been pulling strings to that end for a very long time. So
Just the Queen of the Thing talked at us like it was our fault that this shit happened.
yeah, and that's
Like
why
we killed her.
That is why I am going to the Bleeding Horse right now, because if I have to knock some sense into these people's heads the polite way, then far be it from me to not do it. I will see if I can't clear this up somehow. I doubt that I'm going to be seeing their leader myself in person, but if I have to sit in one of the rooms there and somebody runs messages back and forth, then so be it. My point is, they are angry, and with good reason, although not necessarily good reason for being angry at you. They are afraid. They have good reason for that, because as you said yourself, they aren't terribly good at fighting vampires. And they've just lost someone that they care a great deal about. That sort of thing tends to make people a little more irritable. I'm sure that those of us who knew Aaron can agree to that.
Yeah.
It's not unnatural to place blame where it doesn't belong in a situation like that. That's why I'm going there now. And I do have some good news I can bring her. Not that it's going to help every, little thing here, but I do have some good news I can bring her. How has your hunt gone until now?
We got 2 of the 3 leeches that were at Joselyn's place.
Alright. Do you know who the third one was? Or do you know anything about that final leech? Was it a man? Was it a woman?
It was a man, a big guy.
A big guy. Alright.
Johan.
Yeah.
I guess Fenna could deduce how he smells based on which which one wasn't there.
Yeah, you could.
Oh,
you could.
yeah. I know his scent.
Excellent. That's very good. There isn't I would hate to be in that leech's particular shoes, because quite frankly I know that if you have someone's scent and you want to find them, you'll find them. So why don't you and Connell each grab a hold of one of that shithead's incisors, yank them out of his skull, mount them on a chain, and deliver them to the Banrian as a present.
Won't they decay though? Or do we have to keep him alive for it?
No, not if you pull them out before he dies.
Okay.
It's just a suggestion.
We'll sucker punch him in the mouth.
Good hunting.
Good hunting.
She hangs up.
While the 2 other girls are having a very, 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 very emo conversation.
Fenna feels slightly less angry.
Yeah. She, well, as I said, she hangs up on the other end, and I assume that you were all in the car, right? And heading...
Yep.
Yeah.
Heading somewhere. And,
Maybe back together or get the scent to follow him?
Yeah. Let's get back on trail.
Yeah. Excellent.
Yes. Please, let's do. I can't bear Connell giving me the evil eye any longer.
You guys head back to Ranelagh to pick up the scent.
Yep.
Yep.
All right. Good.
Before it goes completely cold.
Yeah.
Yes. What? What?
So back into Lupus.
Back into Lupus. Just as you arrive in Ranelagh and you get back to the closest place you can be to, because obviously Jocelyn's home is now has a cordon around it. The Garda have set up a cordon, but you can get reasonably close in Lupus and still, and again, your cousin can help you, with that. So you pick up the scent. You find the scent of this guy again. It's faint, but it's there. Since you know what it is, I'm not going to ask for a roll because the scent is there.
Mm.
And it's also alone.
And Finna can probably track him at a pretty high speed.
Yes. And as I said, the point is the scent, when you catch it, is of him alone. The other two are not there at the time when he's left this trail. Mm. So, presumably...
So it's where else?
Yeah. So it's probably going in the right direction.
Presumably so, yes.
So because she is chasing him at a high speed, guessing we're all running with him? Running with her?
Just as you guys are running, your cell phones, those of you who have them, buzz twice.
Okay.
I look.
The first one is from... what's her name? Theodora. Who's sending out a text to people, and it's clear that it's Theodora because she can't spell. And she's not comfortable. She's not comfortable with this whole sending text stuff, but she has learned how to do it. But it's barely legible. But it appears that what she's trying to communicate to everyone is that the score for the night is so far 5 dead leeches, and she does apparently include the 2 that you've reported. So she must have gotten that from Kat.
I imagine it's like Garou 5 leeches 0 squirrel.
And then,
well, they started off with 1.
That was the first text, and then, as I said, a moment later it buzzes again. And this time it's from Tara, which of course you found out last time is now also cut off from Dublin. And you get a text from out there saying John is dead.
John.
Jesus.
And we stop there for next time.
I'll just say real quick that Finna is not slowing down for the others to read these texts. They better fucking keep up while reading.
Yeah, but she does occasionally have to stop and catch the scent again, so they have time to read them.
Oh no, drinks like fish is gone.
We are spiraling towards a low point in the campaign as far as emotions go.
Yep.
Oh no!
This is
Don't start dancing on it. Don't start dancing.
This is the world of darkness, and we need to have the horrible things happen so that if we achieve something, it means something. The silence was deafening.
I'm just pondering if we could start playing in the 100-yard forest instead. It's definitely
the 100-yard forest.
Yeah,
that's where Peter Winnie the Pooh lives.
Yeah,
that's the 100. Oh right, 100-acre wood, of course.
Oh yeah,
or something, whatever.
100-yard forest. Like what the hell? That's supposed to be?
I don't know if anything is 100 meters gone, and that's in Danish.
The 100 meters, the 100-meter forest.
Yeah,
fair enough.
Danish.
Anyway, yeah.
And
so
I'm just like, can the most terrible thing that happens in our world please be Donkey that loses his tail?
I have a Japanese Winnie the Pooh book. I can figure out what it's called in Japanese.
Doesn't matter. Anyway, yeah. Oh dear. Anyway, I think we should probably round off for our viewers who are now listening to us go on a tangent.
Yes, we should. You have you get 4 XP for tonight.
Wow, that's generous.
Yeah, well, it's actually been quite good. Because there's been some tension. There's been a lot of tension. There's been some genuine emotional reactions. I think 4 is reasonable.
Yeah.
What's our total?
That's 55.
I'm trying to not be stingy in general, so.
That's fine. Well, considering how many of the NPCs you're killing off, we're going to need all the points and skills we can get to keep up. Oh well. Yes.
On the bright side, Joselyn the lady isn't that only Joselyn the Cathane.
I was so tempted.
You do have a chance at a blissfully ignorant life. That's what we can never hope for.
Yeah, I was so tempted while I was propping her up there to say something poetic along the lines of "Go and live what life you have left," Joselyn. I wouldn't say Summer's Winters, but whatever. Come up with some suitably ironic, poetic surname or nickname for her, but yeah, in the end, I didn't get a chance. Anyway, so that's okay.
Yes. Oh, we killed 5. Oh, fuck, John. But how the hell are they? Oh, right. They were expecting an attack out of Tara too.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, we need to find a way to break that goddamn bubble open. Because if even losing a single person at Tara, they just haven't got any means of replacing anyone. They've got less than a dozen.
Yeah, they have an easier time replacing their ranks than we do. They can probably get help, as they said, that they have a chance of getting help from elsewhere, but we don't.
We don't yet know if we have 1 bubble around Dublin or 2 bubbles, 1 around Dublin and 1 around Tara. We don't know that.
We don't know that, but that is why Taryn asked them to please check.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, we don't know that they have an easier time getting reinforcements.
In any case, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to stop the recording for tonight. Because, well, it's probably bedtime for some, and for others, well, we can continue talking afterwards if we want to. But in any case, for the viewing and listening audience, please join us next week for more Song of Tara. And good night.
Good night, guys.
Bye.
Sniff.